What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Friday morning, the 2nd of December. Can you believe the year is almost over with? My goodness. So today, I'm going to talk about time management. Thanks to Paul. And Paul, if you're out there, you can chime in on that chat section there. Paul suggested that the other day, and I thought, it's a really good time of year to really talk about time management because this time of year can be kind of hectic, right? Things are going on. And if you're a digital marketer and you work online, we have a lot of other challenges that a lot of people don't. So by the end of this, I'm going to list, I went through, did a lot of research, put in some stuff that I do every day. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be really helpful. It helps me out a lot. So hopefully it'll help you too. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Hit that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray, and don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every time I go live, or if I upload a new video. I want you to heavily use that chat box. I want you to ask questions, put comments, tell me what's going on, whatever it is, put it in that chat box. If you've got some time saving hacks, I want to hear about it. The ones I've got I think are pretty good, but that doesn't mean it's all of them. It doesn't mean it's the best of them. So, feel free to put stuff in there. And also, if you're not watching this live, which I think last time I calculated, it's like 98, 99% of the people don't watch these live. So I really appreciate those of you who do. But I know time-wise, it's kind of hard on a Friday morning at 10 a.m. to just drop everything and, watch a live video. But I appreciate those of you who do it, who have the time to do it, who have a schedule that you can do it. So I'm going to start going through my list here. And I've got some cool stuff, I think. I really do. I think it's going to be very useful for you. I know it's useful for me. And we've got to kind of look at the fact that, as digital marketers, and that means anybody who's kind of working online, right? Each day you kind of face this pile of things you got to do, and it hits you from all sides. You got social media stuff, you got, launches, you've got, the newest tool or the new webinar you got to go to. So in other words, we've got a lot more stuff hitting us than maybe a regular job that has a list of things you got to get done every day. So it's really easy to get overwhelmed. All the stuff that's going on around you, it's really tough. And you got to kind of remain disciplined. You can't wake up every day and go, I'm just going to do things as they come. I have a schedule every day. Yesterday, I had to do recordings, and I did 10 videos yesterday. I mean, from early morning to late at night, I was doing video recordings. But that was scheduled. I had to get that done because, we batch them out. We put, I think, 3 a week now. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We did miss Thursday this week. And the reason we missed Thursday is my video editor's wife had a baby, which is a good excuse, right? So he was with her in the hospital and he got a little bit behind, and that's why he didn't get one out on Thursday. But I apologize to you guys because I know you expect them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's when we normally post them. So what's the first thing you can do? The first thing we can do is we can set time limits. That's the first thing we need to do. And here's what I mean by this. You pick a task. Let's say it's make a sales page. And you say, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour and 20 minutes to make this sales page, an hour and 20 minutes. And you go to Google and you type in 80-minute timer, okay, 80-minute timer, which would be an hour, 20 minutes. And that's going to pop up and that timer is going to be there. And you need to just keep checking back at it. Or maybe you've got an iPad and a computer you can work on. You can glance over at it. Or you could set it on your phone, right? We all got some of these, and you could set a timer on your phone. And what this does is it creates a shift in your brain. It makes you go, oh my God, I've got to get this done in an hour and 20 minutes. Now, if you just sit down and work on a sales page and you have no time limit whatsoever, you'll take longer to do it. I'm telling you, you'll take longer to do it. It's the way our brains work, if you don't have those boundaries. So setting those boundaries, setting a timer off to the side can really help you. Number two, I don't even know how to put this. Don't multitask, but I hate even saying that because it's impossible. Multitask you're not doing anything, okay? All you're doing is shifting from one project to the next, to the next, to the next. You're not doing a whole lot of things all at once. It's impossible. Your mind can only think of one thing at a time. That's it. It's all it's capable of. It cannot think of two things. If you don't believe me, try it. Try to think of two things. It can't be done. So what we have to do is we have to get away from that. What we're doing really is we're going from one task that we got our mind adjusted to and started working on it. And then we leave that task and then go to another task, and we have to get our mind adjusted and start working on it. Then we have to go back to the other task. And all we're doing is we constantly switch our mind, and we never really get into that task, because as soon as we get over that switching into a new task thing, we leave it and go to another one. You're not multitasking. Okay. Number two is avoid multitasking, or don't do it, or it's impossible. You can't do it. I hate when people say I'm good at multitasking. I'm like, no, you're not. All you're doing is distracting yourself, which comes into my next one. Let me get a little sip here. I had a cold a couple of weeks ago, so I still have some remnants of that. My wife's really sick, and she just had a telemed call, and I got to go down and get her some antibiotics and all that. But she got hit really hard with it, so the stuff's going around. I'm telling you. Let me take a sip here real quick. Let's see here. Plucky Chickadee. What are you doing, girl? Good to see you around. That is Tyann, and let me put her comment up there. See, guys, I can put your comment up there. I hope you're doing well. Fill me in what's going on in your life. What's going on with your kid? What's happening? Okay, let me know that. I want to know. All right. So the next one is avoid distractions. Okay, or eliminate distractions is what we really want to do. That's number 3. And we all work in different situations. Okay, some of us work at home. Some of us work in a shared office. I like to go to a Starbucks and work. Whatever your situation, you need to have a mechanism in place that says do not disturb. Okay. So, I work at a Starbucks and I have headphones on, and that pretty much says don't disturb, but I will talk to somebody every now and then. You want to maybe switch your phone to airplane mode so that you don't get notifications. You may want to shut down other apps on your computer. I've taken pretty much all notifications off my phone. I don't want to be notified when somebody comments on the steak and potatoes that somebody's eating at a restaurant. I don't want to be bothered with that stuff. There's a best-selling author named Gary Keller, and he wrote why it's so important to focus on one thing at a time. And he illustrated what happens when you get interrupted. And basically, when you get interrupted, it's hard to get back into that flow again. You lose your focus. It can take twice as long to get back into the groove. So make sure you eliminate distractions. That's simple. That's number 3. Number 4 is one that a lot of us don't do. We don't take time for this. Invest time in education. Okay. Being educated about our whole job of digital marketing, it changes so much. You have to always go out there and get more education. But if you spend time learning a new skill, it can actually help you save time in the future. For instance, maybe learning how to use social media scheduling tool, like what do we use? Hootsuite. That could save you time in the future, a scheduling tool like that. So you've got to spend time on that. That's super important. Let's see here. What Plucky Chickadee Tyann has to say. Let me get over to that right quick. I have several different screens here. If you saw the angle that I'm at, you would understand. It gets a little confusing. I'm all right. Last week we were sick. Kid had strep. I had flu bug. Man, that stuff's going around. My daughter was just here for Thanksgiving, and she has twin, almost 3-year-old boys and a 5-year-old. And she got back to Florida, and one of the twins had an ear infection when we were here, like a day before they left, and they drove all the way from Tampa to Austin. Long drive, like 17, 18-hour drive, long drive. But anyhow, so she got some medication for him, and she took him to the doctor when they got back there, and it turns out he had a double ear infection. And then the doctor checked the other twin, and he had a double ear infection. He wasn't showing any signs. And then her son, 5-year-old, he got an ear infection. So it's like she's got all of that going on right now, and she tries to work, and she works online too. So it's the illness thing can really slow down your role. I can tell you that right now. Slowed mine down. So that number 4 was invest in education. You got to spend time on that. And number 5 is a really good one. You've got to learn how to delegate and outsource tasks. There's so many things that I need to do in a day. And I do outsource. I have a good video editor, and Billy, hello, if you're there, if you're watching. But there's no reason why you shouldn't delegate or outsource tasks to other people. If you work on your own, you can only get so much accomplished. You can only do so much. And I might not be real good at it. I'm not the best at, video editing. This is not my thing. Okay. I mean, I can do it, but it takes me longer, and I'm not the best at it. So why not have somebody better than me at it and let them do it? Tyann says, illness in kids just slams things to a stop in our house. It does. It's like my daughter, somehow she works through it, but she's got these 3 little boys, and man, I mean, they run circles around her, and she does online stuff, and she does reels and videos of her exercising and all this stuff, because she's all into that. But man, yeah, it does slow things down. I can tell you that, because I raised 2 kids of my own, and it takes some time out of the day. But anyhow, back to this delegating. You've got to delegate some, okay? You've got to outsource some of this stuff. You'll never grow your business, but so far, if you don't hire other people. It's just the way it is. And the things that you don't like to do are some of the best things to delegate. The things that you aren't good at are some of the best things to delegate. The things that take you a long time are good to delegate. Like I can't type. So if I needed something typed, I wouldn't do it. I'd have somebody else do that. Matter of fact, I do that. I have them, take audio and put it into text for blogs and so forth. Next one, number 6. This is one I bet you don't do. Take regular breaks. Working nonstop is not the best use of your time. You think, oh my gosh, if I just constantly work and don't take any breaks, I'm gonna get so much more done. But it's not true. There's all kinds of schools of thoughts on this and how long you should work and how long you should break. I like the 90-20 rule. 80-20 works also, but work about 90 minutes and then rest for 20 minutes. Your body is hardwired to pulse. To operate at our best, we need to renew our energy about, hour and a half intervals, hour intervals. So you got to take breaks, take regular breaks, and you're going to feel more like doing something. When you get back to it, and there's another study that I read the other day, and it was 52 minutes and then the rest 17. I don't know. It looks like you should work more than you rest, maybe 3-to-1, something like that, 4-to-1. I don't know. You can also take a power nap. My wife and I will do that every now and then. I can sleep for 20 minutes, and I feel really great after that. I can get a lot more done. She likes to do like 45 minutes to an hour, but I can't do that. Then I get too tired. So whatever works best for you is fine. But remember, don't just work for like 4 or 5 hours straight. Don't do that. Not good for you. Next thing is track your time. Number 7 is track your time. I think tracking your time is very important. Do you honestly know how much time you spend on an activity? Now, this could go the other direction. You may think you're working real hard, and it turns out you're playing around on social media and you're texting people and you're making phone calls and you're doodling and maybe watching a video, and you're really not working enough time on your task. So this can flip in the other direction too. Do you honestly know how much time you spend on each activity throughout the day? Most people will kid themselves. They try using an app like Time My Life. Time My Life is a good one, and you'll get an accurate recording of how much time you spend on each task. And it may surprise you. You may be doing a lot more. You may be doing a lot less, which I think happens to more and more people. Number 8, this was one of the biggest time savers in the world for me. And I got to reset my phone now because I haven't used it lately, but use a password manager. Oh my gosh, guys, we have so many places that we log into now. So many places that we got to go to right now. And if you've got to do that and you've got to look up your password, or you got to try 4 or 5 different passwords, it can really slow your roll. It really can, guys. So, you want to not do that. You want to make sure you have all your passwords in one place. They're all saved. They're easy to get to. That's so darn helpful if you can do that. And guys, keep those comments coming. I love them. I love having your comments. I know there's a bunch of you out there now, so start putting some comments in there, asking me questions. I can interrupt me talking. It's no big deal. You can interrupt me talking. This is for you, so keep that in mind. My next one, I'm an affiliate for this company, and I'll do full disclosure. Get Kartra. Kartra in the description of this video once it's posted up on YouTube, once it's not live. You're going to find a link to Kartra. When I got Kartra, I got rid of 8 different pieces of software. 8 different pieces of software. Now, why is this so monumental? Well, for 2 reasons. The first reason is it saved me a lot of money because a lot of things were built into Kartra. It had the sales pages. It had funnels in there. It had memberships in there. It had pop-ups in there. It has my email in there. It has sales pages. It has all these things in there. So I could cut out a lot of the expenses I was paying. Now, here's the other thing, how it saves time and why it's in this training today, because I don't have to log into 8 different places. You know how much time it takes to log into 8 different places, right? That burns up a lot of time. But if I log in one time and I've got access to all of these tools in here, all these things that are going to help me out, that saves a lot of time, guys. It really does. And keep those comments coming. Don't forget to do that. I really like that. And give me a thumbs up. I forgot to ask for that. If you would, give me a thumbs up on this video. I'm checking those right here, so I'm going to see if you guys are doing that. Hit that thumbs up button for me real quick while I'm getting a sip. I'm watching for it. Oh, you guys, at least the number of people that are in this training right now, hit that thumbs up button. That would be great. And of course, those of you who are watching this live, that would be great too. Number 10, only use tools that show real benefits. It's so easy in digital marketing to get more and more and more tools and more software and more things, but are they really benefiting you? I was going through my list of things last night, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to cancel one of my softwares. It's a pretty expensive one, but I haven't used it in the past year and I'm paying for it. So I want to get rid of that tool. I don't want that tool anymore. It's really easy to become attracted to new tools that promise outstanding, wonderful results, but there are only so many tools you can effectively use in your business. Okay. You can't use every tool that's out there. If you try using too many tools, you're going to waste time and potentially money. Okay. Money is time. That's all we got as a digital marketer, right? So get rid of some of those ones you aren't using. If you try using too many tools, it's just not going to work out. You want to consolidate your tool set, and you want to use the ones that benefit you the most. Now let's get into, and I've got a few more of these things on my list. Let's see here. My girl Tyann, what you got to say? She says, lifelong learning was a requirement for me in whatever I wanted to do outside my part-time job of caregiving. Absolutely. And why wouldn't we want to keep learning as humans, right? That's kind of crazy, right? But there's a lot of people that go, well, I went through school, I graduated college, high school, whatever it was. I went through my trade school, and that's all I have to know. No, I mean, why wouldn't you want to learn? There's so much to learn in the world. I mean, there's so much knowledge out there. And gosh, we can go just online now and watch videos like you're doing right now and pick up stuff. So yeah, I mean, learning stuff is great. And I think it's important for us to grow as a human being too. All right, so let's get into the social media time saving tips. Number 11, choose your channels. Okay, guys, you cannot be an expert. Well, Gary Vee is, I think, but you cannot be an expert at TikTok, at Twitter, at Instagram, at Facebook, at YouTube, at whatever else there is out there. I don't know too many of them. The more channels you're active on, the more time you're going to have to spend on social media. The first step you want to do is you need to decide what is the one that you want to focus on. What's the one you enjoy doing? What is the one maybe you get the best results from? And stick to it. And I'm not saying just do one, but man, I think 2 or 3 maxes you out. I really do. I think you're going to find that your audience probably gravitates towards one of these things. That's where they are. Okay. So you want to try to stand out in the one you're in. And what social networks you focus on should help you build your community and business. And if it's not doing that, you're on the wrong one. Okay. And there's too many to do all of them, just too many. Okay. They pop up every day. So that's number 11. Number 12 is going to be check your engagement data. I think a lot of times we do stuff and we don't look and see what's going on. We send out an email and we don't check and see which one's working. Maybe that email you're sending out with that subject line is not even effective. Maybe the posts you're doing in Facebook are getting no engagement, no comments, no views. Do you want to keep doing that if you're not getting anything out of it? And I think that's an important question to ask yourself. But you got to go through and you got to look at maybe Twitter analytics. You got to look at Facebook insights. You got to look at your Kartra numbers, and you got to figure out, what I'm doing, is that really gaining me anything, or am I just wasting my time on this? Okay, next one. Automate or schedule your post. Now, I just mentioned that yesterday I did 10 videos. Okay, 10 videos in one day. The reason I do that is because I schedule 3 a week to go out on social media. I schedule 3 a week. My son's coming into town for Christmas. Haven't seen him in a long time. Really looking forward to that. I don't want to be sitting in here doing videos. So what we do is we edit those videos. I go into YouTube and I schedule the day and time that I want that video to become live. And as I do that, it frees up my time and I can go do something else. And yet I'm still getting postings done. So I use a scheduling thing called Hootsuite for, let's say, Twitter and Facebook and all that. But in YouTube, my video editor actually goes in there and schedules those. One of the main advantages of using these things is that it frees up your time. You can schedule for different networks. Like on Hootsuite, you can schedule your Facebook. You can do the fan page, the profile, the events, the groups. LinkedIn, you can do the profile, the company page. Twitter, you can do your profile. Google Plus, you can do your business pages. not too many people use Google Plus anymore. Pinterest, you could do your boards. Instagram, you could do your accounts and all your posts. So it's a big time saver. Saves me a lot of time, saves him a lot of time. Let me get another sip here. And this was Paul's idea, this time saving thing today. And I have not heard from Paul today. So Paul, I'm calling you out. Where are you at, buddy? You asked me to do this and it's Friday and he's not there. No, I'm sure he had something he had to do if he's not there. Next one is going to be manage your engagement. All right. On this one here, this takes some time. Once you've scheduled your posts for the best times a day, you have to decide how you're going to interact with comments, mentions, feedback. This one here, I go all in on. And what I mean by that is I don't have, and I can, and if you have TubeBuddy, which I'll have a link for TubeBuddy below too, free software you can get. And if you're doing YouTube videos, I highly recommend it. But you can have automated comments that pop up and you can save those comments. It's pretty cool. You can do that. I don't do that. I don't do that because I don't want to see the same comment over and over and over and over. People look at that, I think, and say, well, they're not really, interacting with anybody. They're using automation. So I don't do that. However, if you want to do that, you can. And if you have the upgraded version of TubeBuddy, you can put as many comments as you want in that one. So they won't all look the same. So and you get 30% off if you use my affiliate link too. I get a small portion, very small portion of what you spend on TubeBuddy, but that's a good one. I recommend it. So if you've chosen to focus on one or two social media channels, then it makes sense to use these native platforms. It's not that difficult to jump into Facebook and Twitter and track what's happening on your accounts, but it takes time. When I go in there and I answer my comments, that takes time. It takes time out of my day. It takes, time from something else. And that's the other thing. You got to look at it when you're doing something. What are you not doing? So anytime you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Every time you say no to one thing, you're saying yes to something else. So, we don't always look at it that way, but when you choose to help somebody or spend time with somebody, you're taking away from your own business and stuff. And I'm not saying don't do it because I do it all the time. I'm just saying, be aware of what you're doing. How much time do you want to take away from it? So if you've got more channels, you're going to have more interactions to manage. And then you may find it easier to use a tool to do some of that stuff. There's one called Agora Pulse, I believe it is. Agora Pulse. That's AGORA Pulse. And you can check that out. Next thing I will tell you, number 15, and we're getting now near to the end here. I think I got 13 of these things. Use templates. I really like Kartra for that reason, because I can go into Kartra and I can find a template for pretty much anything that I want to do. Pretty much anything I want to do, whether it's a sales page or a webinar sign up or an opt-in, they're going to have a template there. And then once you find some templates that work for you, you can use them more than once. Okay. You don't have to use a brand new template every single time. A lot of social media activities are repetitive. So it takes, it makes sense to create some type of template, when you're doing social media type stuff. I know a lot of creators that do that. Save a set of graphic templates in, Canva or something like that for each social media network. Maybe you have some hashtags that you use over and over. Use a standard set of hashtags, keep that in a separate, Word doc or something like that, or keep it online in Dropbox. It's going to save you time when you have to change an image or modify it. And you may say, well, it doesn't take me but a few minutes to add all those hashtags. It takes you a few minutes every single time. And when you add that up every single day, every single week, every single month, you're wasting hours of your time. So don't do it. Don't waste hours of your time. Not something you want to do. Next thing we got, number 16, and I have a good ending to this too, so stay to the very end. Number 16, avoid social media when you should be doing something else. Okay, this is the thing that sucks so much of our time. Now, I'm telling you to avoid social media. That's because it has good and a bad side. On one hand, it can be effective for marketing tool. On the other hand, it can really be a huge distraction that sucks time like nothing else. It's designed to. They'll tell you they're designing this to keep you on their platform. That's what they want you to do. I try to use it primarily for business. I don't do a lot of social media type stuff for myself. Like, if I have a cold, I'm not going to post, oh, I got a cold today, I don't feel well, or any of that stuff. The only one that even comes close to that is our Friday lunches. And I've been doing that for, I think, since 2015. My wife and I, every Friday, which would be today, we'll go out to lunch. We won't today because she's ill. And I post that, and I've just been doing that. But as far as other type stuff, if I bought a new suit or I got a new car, or well, I don't do it. I just don't do it. It's not what I do. Okay. And I think it wastes a lot of your time. But it can be an effective marketing tool, but it can also suck a lot of your time. You want to set aside maybe 2 or 3 fixed times every day for you to attend to your Twitter engagement. Make sure you cap the time for these sessions. For example, 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. So you can spend the rest of your day focusing on areas of your business, because otherwise it's going to suck time away from the stuff. You can replicate this advice for each social media channel so that you cap your time accordingly. And maybe you want to bunch them all together. At 2:30 in the afternoon, you feel a little less productive. So maybe that's what you want to do. You want to, say, hey, that's when I'm going to check my social media stuff. That's when I'm going to go do that. Let's see here. Tyan's got something. Thinking about investing Jarvis for writing posts, etc. Yeah, I've looked at a lot of that stuff, that automated stuff, and I wonder, and I don't know, but I wonder if these social media platforms can tell that you're using it. And I know if they can tell, they're not going to give you any distribution. So I think I'd be careful. I don't know, I don't use anything that auto generates, because I feel like a lot of these social media platforms are smarter than the people that just come with an auto generator type thing. I remember in years ago, I'm talking like over 10 years ago, I was doing blogs, and they had these things called spinner programs. And you could put a bunch of terms in and it would write a blog for you, 200 words, 300 words, whatever. The problem with it was it sounded like it was a spinner. I mean, the diction didn't work very well. It just looked weird. I think it's very hard to have a computer think like a human brain. I really do. And I know they're getting close to it. They're getting very close, but it still sounds a little funky. I saw one the other day that you can take some text and you enter it in, and you can pick an avatar, and it's a human looking person, right? They look almost identical, male, female. You can put the color, hair, eyes, and all this stuff, and they will actually speak what you put in, which is kind of cool. But I could tell it was not quite a human. Okay. Now they may be good for a sales page or something like that, but there's that edge that I didn't like. There's just a little bit of an edge. I mean, you may be able to fool some people with it, but I think most people who are online and do this stuff are going to notice that. But it was a great idea that you could pick somebody who looked like anybody you wanted, and you could just enter the text and they could actually read it for you. I thought that was kind of cool, but that's why I didn't do it. So it was kind of interesting though. So are you managing your time efficiently? Do you have everything under control? I'm going to ask you that question. Most of us have our good days, but we also have our bad days. Put in that comment section. Are you having good days? Are you having bad days? What do you think you have more of? And you can also put it in the comment section below. If you're not watching this live, that's fine too. I'll come back and answer you. But that's okay. And I'm going to tell you why it's okay. You're human. But if you pay a little bit more attention to all these things, if you go through this list of 16 things I gave you today, 16 things that you're spending your time on, when you start implementing some of these time-saving tips, when you start to have more good days, you're going to realize that the bad days are shrinking. Okay. Because you've done this, because you've gone in there and plucky chickadee, more bad, 100%. I bet you don't. I know you. I mean, we've been talking back and forth for a couple of years now, at least. And I know how hard you try and what you do. I think sometimes we're hard on ourselves when we shouldn't be. I think sometimes at the end of the day, Tyann, what I would recommend you doing, and I've done this with my wife, and she says she had a bad day and she can get all her stuff done. And I'll say, well, what did you get done? What did you get done today? What did you get accomplished? And when she starts listing it, it's like she got a ton of stuff done. Got a lot of stuff done, a lot of stuff that you need to pat yourself on the back for. But I think we tend to focus on what we don't get done. I really do. I think, I don't know why we do that as human beings, but I think we're just too hard on ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with, analyzing what we've done. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But I think sometimes we're just too hard on ourselves. So step back a little bit, do the best you can. You're a human. Okay. You're a human. So that means by definition, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. You're not going to be able to get everything done that you want to do because we're humans. That's the way it is. Don't be hard on yourself. I hope this has helped you out some. A lot of these things I do every day. I'd say for the most part, most of them. I'm not always satisfied with what I get done either, but I know I get stuff done. I know I create more than I consume. And I would say, as a cap for today, if you can create more than you consume, you're better off. Creating is so very important in your life. And we, as digital marketers, have this opportunity to actually create stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool that will live beyond us. Okay. Our videos will, our blogs will, maybe some of our products will, our companies will. And being able to create is very satisfying. I will tell you that. It's very hard, very hard. It's hard to write that blog, hard to do that video. You know, it's hard, but I think all of us, we try our best. So that's what I got for you today. If you like what you heard today, you want more of it, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to do that. I'm not seeing a lot of thumbs up there, guys. Hit that thumbs up if you would. Please hit that thumbs up. Click it, click it, click it if you would. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit that subscribe button, turn it from red to gray, and ring the bell. Bill's almost coming off the desk there. Can you see that? You can't see that, can you? Ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a new video. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. Use that comment section. Once again, if you get some ideas afterwards, you want to come back and comment, please do so. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching today. And I should be back Monday morning. I'll see you guys on Monday. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much.